This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All right, just to finish your thoughts on the Kansas game versus Fresno State. I'd mentioned I'd written down that I felt like Jalen Daniels would get hurt this year. I felt like the Kansas offensive line got pushed back a lot during that game, at least the first three quarters that I watched, and that the defense was somewhat leaky. Cam Pickett for them looks pretty good as a receiver, but man, like you said, they ran Jalen Daniels an awful lot for a game like Fresno State.
Yeah, I thought KU's offense and defensive line dominated that game. I thought they really owned Fresno State up front. I mean, the time he's getting hit, it's down the field when they're running him as a quarterback. It's not when he's dropping back to pass. They only gave up 7 in the game. That was on their first drive. How you calling their defense leaky?
I don't know. I just felt like
it's 7 points, man.
I know.
Their first drive of the season, and then they pitch a shutout for 3 3/4 of the game. And it's leaky.
I didn't say it was like porous or anything. I just thought it was.
I tell you what, if the Red Raiders give up 7 this weekend, I'm going to be pretty happy.
Okay, well, I think I don't know what the caliber of talent was versus the other, but I mean, Fresno State was 7 of 15 on third down. They had 13 first downs. They had, they only had 37 yards rushing. I don't know. It just kind of looked like. To me, it looked like they got pushed around a little bit, but okay.
Well, I'm sure on certain plays they did, but I mean, look at
7 points.
No, I get that, but I mean, it just in looking at it, it just was like, okay, Jalen Daniels
was really good.
Yeah. And KU is really fast. I made that note to myself. It's like KU looks fast, and maybe it's easy to look fast against. A team like Fresno State, but they looked fast. And I'll say this: I thought the stadium looked better than I thought it was going to look. So,
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
I had seen the end zone, and I thought the end zone looked cool. And I thought it was pretty neat.
It looked to me like because the east side is still the same as what it's been for 100 years. Looked to me like they pushed the stadium north just a little bit because the stands, the locker room for the visiting team. Is underneath the east stands. At least that's what it was. I don't know if that's still the case or not, or if they'll build a better locker room for the visiting team once they demolish the east side. And the stands are a little bit further into the end zone than what they previously were. So anyway, all right. So that's that with regard to the games from the Big 12 this past weekend involving. KU and Fresno State, and then Iowa State and K-State. We have a game on Thursday with Jacksonville State and UCF, and also coming up this week with
we have 7 games before we get to Saturday.
Yeah, UT Martin and Oklahoma State, Stephen F. Austin and Houston, Nebraska and Cincinnati, a game that you'll hear on 100.7 The Score on Thursday, and then Kansas plays on Friday against Wagner. I mean, some of these teams you never even heard of. And then Auburn-Baylor, that'll be Friday night. That should be a really, really good matchup.
No doubt. That's one of the highlight ones of the weekend.
Yeah, and then Georgia Tech and Colorado. I would think that would be a pretty good game, too. Yep. At least it's a competitive game. I mean, when you think about it. And, it'll be interesting for Kansas State playing host to North Dakota just because Chris Kleiman used to coach there. Okay, and it's been a while since he's coached there, but and also for them coming off the trip to Dublin, and same thing for Iowa State. They'll play at home against South Dakota, and those are all teams that people go, okay, well, What do you know? What's that gonna look like? The North Dakota one will be probably the more of all those games, that with the exception of like Georgia Tech, Colorado, Auburn, Baylor. That one probably has a chance to be competitive, just because North Dakota's been so good over the years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then on Saturday you've got Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Texas Tech, Portland State and BYU, Northern Arizona and Arizona State. You would think that would be a big kind of rivalry there for Northern Arizona to play somebody in state like Arizona State or Arizona, that they would be really up for that.
That BYU Portland State game could get a little bit ugly. I watched Portland State's game this weekend. They lost 42-0 to Tarleton.
Ooh. Ooh.
BYU might put a hurt on them.
Might want to put the soccer team out there to see if they can play a little bit too.
Have a running clock.
Yeah. Utah, UCLA. That'll be a good game. We could give us an indication of maybe what Utah looks like, coming off of the year that they had. And then a week from today, it's TCU and North Carolina. Okay. And that's Bill Belichick's first game as the head coach of North Carolina, and his first game in college for quite some time. He was an assistant way back in the day.
It feels like one of those games that we're going to have to watch with the volume off.
Just because there'll be so much Bill Belichick talk?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe so. But you're right. I mean, it's crazy when you think about it. 7 games. I hadn't really thought about it like that. But when you say it like that, you're right. 7 games before we even get to Saturday. That's a crazy number.
It is. No doubt.
It's a crazy number. Hey, I started watching
the Big 12 weekend goes from Thursday to Monday this week.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, Labor Day weekend, right?
Yeah.
I started watching this yesterday, last night. And me and the lucky lady watched 3 episodes. I don't know how intently she watched it. Looked like she was reading something more than watching this. But I got to tell you, the Netflix stuff on the Cowboys, man, if you're a fan of history and just behind-the-scenes stuff, and
I am, which is why I'm not watching the fiction that was.
Well, I don't know that it's fiction.
Is Jerry Jones involved?
Well, sure, but I mean, I don't think he's not the producer. It was a Netflix deal. It's not everything is just sunshine and roses for the Cowboys in this. But I'm just telling you, the first 3 episodes, you see the old video and stuff like that. I mean, it is really good stuff. The first 3 episodes take you up through the '92 NFC Championship game. So I thought that was, like I said, it's well worth watching. I've watched 2 episodes of The Kingdom, and I've watched 3 episodes of the Cowboys, and I'm anxious to see another episode of the Cowboys, and I got to think that probably is on the menu for tonight, at least 1 or 2 of those.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is the 25th day of August, 8/25/25. We are 4 months away from Christmas. If you want to leap forward that far ahead, or you can just go, we're just a few days away from college football season to begin for Texas Tech.
I like that one better.
Okay, here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
1875. Captain Matthew Webb makes the first recorded unassisted swim across the English Channel. 21 hours, 45 minutes.
Okay, so help me out on this one. Does he get to, at times, hop out of the water and get into a boat?
No.
Not an unassisted. He's in the water for 21 hours and 45 minutes.
In the water for 21 hours.
And I got to think in 1875, it's a heck of a lot harder than it is in 2025 because of wetsuits that haven't been developed and things along those lines.
Oh, yeah. Technology has absolutely made it. I don't want to say easy.
Right.
But I would imagine it would still be difficult now.
Yeah. It would not. Oh, I'm not saying that water's warm right now either.
It's
still
cold.
Impressive.
I want to say it's like in the 60s.
Yeah. 1960, AFL begins placing players' names on the back of their jerseys. 1967, Minnesota Twin Dean Chance throws his second no-hitter of the month beats Cleveland 2-1.
Dang. 2 in 1 month.
1985, Mets' Dwight Gooden becomes the youngest pitcher to win 20 games. 20 years, 9 months, 9 days. 1996, Tiger Woods wins the 96th U.S. Golf Amateur Championship. And in 2017, former Red Raider A.J. Ramos gets his 4th save with the Mets after being traded from the Marlins in July. It was his 24th total save of the year. It is National Banana Split Day. Yes.
Yeah, yes. No nuts for me on it. And I'd double strawberry instead of the pineapple, but I'm kind of into the pineapple now, so I'll be all right.
Yeah, I would tweak it a little bit. No chocolate sauce.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll go. I would just prefer banana, vanilla, and strawberry. Okay.
You can't go wrong with bananas and strawberries.
Yeah.
Like bananas are okay. Strawberries are okay.
Yeah.
You put them together, there's just it's exponentially better.
I do want nuts.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm nuts enough.
Happy birthday, former Red Raiders. Hunter Redmond is 33, and Andrew Sorrells is 29.
Okay.
LCU's athletic director.
Just 29. Wow.
Blake Lively, 38. Tim Burton, 67. Billy Ray Cyrus, 64. Blair Underwood, 61. Rachel Ray, 57. Marvin Harrison, 53. Raleigh Fingers, 79. His mustache, slightly younger. Justin Upton, 38. Albert Bell, 59. And Robert Horry is 55. And on this day, 1944, after more than 4 years of Nazi occupation, Paris is liberated by the French 2nd Armored Division and the U.S. 4th Infantry Division. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. Dean Chance saying, with regard to his no-hitter on this day in 1967, that the umpire, Ed Runge, his wide strike zone had a lot to do with him keeping the Indians off the base paths. Okay.
Makes sense.
It was a 2-1 game. The Indians scored their sole run in the first inning on 2 walks, an error, and a wild pitch. Ouch. Would not have thought after the end of 1 that guy was going to throw a no-hitter, right?
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. Go to the WT97.3 mobile app to participate. Scott writes this about the Netflix on the Cowboys. Said it was really good. Living through it all seems spot on. Michael Irvin was basically given a pass on his egregious lifestyle. Jones and Jimmy Johnson's battling egos full on display. Yeah. Somebody said this. I finished The Kingdom yesterday. I thought it was really good. Okay. I don't know if this is a fair analysis or not, but Bo writing in from Chicagoland says Kansas State fans got a little taste of Matt Wells. Like I said, I don't know if that's a fair shot or not.
I don't know. I thought he called a good game.
Okay.
I did. I thought he called a good game. Yeah, I just think the weather slowed that thing down offensively, and so there really wasn't a lot of offense until the second half.
And K-State lost one of their running backs, their big running back, like right away on a punt return.
Yeah, right off the bat.
It'd be interesting to see what his status is moving forward, how long he's going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 6:50 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line.
Are we going to get to the breaking news this weekend?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you know how excited at least 2/3 of this show was when we saw the breaking news on Saturday?
You know, I'm trying to think when I finally saw this. I think it was Saturday. It was either Saturday night or early Sunday morning because I had a busy Saturday with Meet the Red Raiders and Tech Night. The long trial for Carson Wentz is over. He has found himself a team, and he's signed with the Minnesota Vikings, who made a trade, and so Carson Wentz will be a backup for the Minnesota Vikings after the Vikings traded Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles. So there you go. He'll be behind their starting quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. The Vikings get a 26th fifth-round pick and a 27 seventh-round pick. Philadelphia also got a 26 sixth-round pick from the Vikings. But Carson Wentz found himself a team, Jamie.
I think the quote was, "It'll be fascinating to see where Carson Wentz ends up." Count us all in as fascinated. Fascination has been tickled.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So now we solved the mystery of what's going to happen to Carson Wentz.
We did.
And
extensive research.
And everybody's now.
I am very surprised
up to date
that people weren't texting you immediately after it happened.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Didn't get that right. Didn't get anything from either one of you guys.
No. I if you hadn't seen it, I wanted to be able to break it to you today on the show. That's why I didn't text you about it.
Okay.
But I'm shocked. One of our listeners that also has your number didn't text you that Carson Wentz has got a spot now. How excited you would be to find out who it was.
Nobody texted me with that. Nobody texted me with that about that. So there you go. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Did y'all talk about Kansas State's quarterback family drama after the game? No, that's really unfortunate. I don't know what happened between Avery Johnson's dad and his older brother, but obviously not a good look on the streets of Dublin.
What happened to them? They get into a fight with some Iowa State fans?
They got in a fight with each other. I don't know what happened.
Listen, man, totally get it. My dad and I have a great relationship now that we're 500 miles apart.
But Avery Johnson's dad ended up on top of Avery Johnson's older brother in the streets of Dublin.
Greatness.
Yeah. So there you go. No, they didn't mix it up. Didn't mix it up with the Dublin fans. They mixed it up with each other. This was after the game Saturday, apparently.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
7:15 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thank you for being with us today. We'll have Ranger Baseball on the air for you tonight on Double T 97.3. Rangers coming off of winning 3 over the weekend against the Cleveland Guardians. That'll make you feel good about things, but you got to keep winning. You got to keep winning. And they got to take on a team like the Angels tonight, and they got to win 2 or 3 at the bare minimum.
Yeah, got a little bit closer to that final wild card playoff spot, so just keep inching forward.
Bad news, though, for the Rangers. Marcus Semien fractured a foot, fractured some bones in his foot. They think out 4 to 6 weeks, which probably is the season for him.
Yeah, it looks like it's unlikely that he'll be back.
Yeah, so that's too bad for him. He's kind of had to battle through some things this year, and seems like he keeps getting hit and stuff like that, and just whatever. I mean, he's not had the best of years, although he's kind of been up and down. It's kind of been like the team.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
Kind of been like the team.
And he's part of the reason that they've struggled.
Yeah, no doubt. Boy, had a really good pitching performance yesterday by Merrill Kelly.
Really? I mean, all weekend long.
No doubt, right. Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi, no doubt about it. And you get a shutout yesterday, so you get swing the bat in the right time and get some runs to come in for you. But yesterday, as far as Kelly was throwing strikes early on. I mean, he went 7 innings, had 8 strikeouts, but I want to say he had 3 or 4 in the first couple innings. So didn't really walk anybody. Had 2 walks. So when you don't walk people and you only give up 4 hits, pretty high likely that you're going to win, especially when your starting pitcher goes 7 innings. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things. And apparently the Rangers, what they're going to be facing this week with the Angels, just listening to the Ranger broadcasters yesterday, talking about how the they have a penchant for walking, the Angel pitchers. So being patient, much like this past weekend, was really, and especially yesterday, was really important for the Rangers because they got 7 walks yesterday. So
it's good.
Yeah. So
patient at the plate.
And so that also kind of helped you to get some runners in a good spot and put you in a position where you could get some runs. So you were still 2 of 11 with runners in scoring position though. But Jock Peterson had a home run. That was during my nap while I was listening to the game. I missed that one. I woke up and it was 5-0. It's like, oh, what happened? Jock Peterson hit a home run. So, oh well.
Okay.
Well, Rangers got 10 hits. Somebody wants to know, Chuck, are the Rangers back in this thing? No, they're just going to toy with us. I think they're just going to toy with us, Jamie. I mean,
it's still an uphill climb, no doubt, but it was good to see them show some life this past weekend, and hopefully that carries over. Like you mentioned, with an Angels team that's not great, so you got to take advantage of that. Yeah,
so you've got a team in front of you in Kansas City, which, it didn't go well last week in Kansas City, losing 3 of 4. And then Seattle's in the 3rd wild card spot. Boston's up on the Yankees, and then the Yankees up a half a game on Seattle. So,
those 3 are all bunched together.
They are.
So, Rangers get on a hot streak, they can find themselves the number 1 wild card team.
Rangers are now even 66-66 on the season. And the Yankees, they got a win last night against the Red Sox. So take one of those games against the Bo Sox.
Yeah, they'd only beaten them 8 games in a row.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sooner or later, right?
Sooner, blind squirrel, I guess. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to win the East. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Without saying. Detroit, no problems in the Central. They lead Kansas City by 10.5. Houston and Seattle are still kind of battling for the West. Astros are up 2. And then out West, is this more of a battle than what you thought it was going to be, the Dodgers and the Padres?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I thought the Dodgers would run away with it.
Yeah, they've not been able to.
Nope.
They beat the Padres yesterday, and that's turned into quite the rivalry between those two teams over the years.
It's been one for quite a while.
Over the years, right?
They really hate each other.
Yeah, they hate each other. Yeah, that's
just like the Dodgers and the Giants fans too.
Milwaukee leads Chicago by 5, so it looks like Milwaukee's kind of in control of that thing, although they did lose yesterday. I wonder how the burger thing went out with them. With the guy the restaurant chain that you win 12 in a row, you get free burgers. I didn't do any follow up to see how that went. How that the implementation and when you got to redeem it and when Burger Day was there in Milwaukee. So sorry that I didn't get that.
Yeah, I was busy trying to figure out what Carson Wentz was doing.
Yeah, I understand that.
Missed out on how the burgers were.
Sure. Chicago, San Diego, and the Mets, all the wild card leaders right now. Cincinnati's a game and a half behind the Mets. And the Diamondbacks are they're kind of like the Rangers. They're 5.5 back, St. Louis 5.5 back, San Francisco 6.5 back. It'll be a struggle for any of those 3 teams to get to a wild card spot.
And now, from Morning Drive Update.
According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel,
okay,
it was an estimated that this was past Wednesday, gave out between 80,000 and 90,000 free burgers.
Wow.
During a 2 to 6 p.m. afternoon stretch.
Window. Okay. So just say 85,000. Let's say each one was, a burger anymore is $3 or $4, right? Easy.
You would think.
Yeah.
They also gave out 100,000 free burger vouchers. So that brings the total almost to 200,000 burgers.
Wow. Let's just say it's 5. That's $1 million. Well, they made good on it. I mean, they said they were going to do it, and they did it.
They did it.
Good for them. And they probably sold some Cokes and fries and extra burgers to go with that. Because you can't just, if you're going for the fam, you can't just go and get one. But you probably got one burger, and then like, you know what? Give me 3 or 4 more, because everybody at the house wants one too. Right?
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. Yeah. This Dodgers are a perfect example of that spending money and bringing in lots of talent doesn't always translate into easy success. I think a lot of teams have found that over the years.
I think the Padres spent a bunch of money too.
The Dodgers just won the World Series. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was just last October.
Yeah, it's true.
I think they've had success.
They've had some success, yes. Yeah. But my point was, there's been plenty of teams that have tried to do that. It's not just Dodgers and others.
Sure. I mean, but again, look at the division, the standings. It's not like they're 12 out or something.
Right? Yeah, it's not like they've fallen off the face of the earth.
If I'm asking you right now, who do you think wins the World Series? I'm still saying Dodgers.
You're still saying Dodgers. Okay.
I'm still saying Dodgers.
You're probably right. I'd like to see the Brewers win it.
That's not who I'd like to see. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see the Yankees win it. But who do I think is going to win it? Who's the best team? I still would bet on the Dodgers.
Right. Okay.
I'd like to see the Brewers.
Well, they just gave out a couple 100,000 hamburgers, Some good fortune should come their way, right?
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Coming up at 8, do want to talk a little Cowboys as they're in an off week between the end of the preseason and the start of the regular year. Cut down day is yesterday, today, tomorrow, getting down to 53. 7:45, boom, boom, boom. 8:30, we'll review upon further review, and next, Jamie's question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Will we talk about Micah Parsons on the sideline with nachos and a hoodie, supposedly laying down during the game, showing his displeasure?
There wasn't any supposedly. I mean, he was laying flat down on his back.
Looked like he had a comfortable nap going.
Yeah.
It takes somebody really special to make me feel like I'm on Jerry's side.
Jimmy Johnson probably would have cut him. Maybe Jimmy wouldn't have even they wouldn't have gotten to this point with.
No. Jimmy Johnson's also the one that said there's different rules for star players than there are for everybody else.
There's
and
true.
Micah Parsons is a star player.
No, you're right. You're right. That was a flippant comment by me. You're right.
I don't know who to root for in this whole thing.
An end.
Just for it to go away.
Whatever ending we go with, yeah. I'm rooting for an end.
I don't know if they showed. I'll be just full disclosure. I don't know if they showed it on TV or not. I watched the game, but I started late, and I was trying to get caught up, and I was by myself. I was watching the game. I had popcorn going, had some wings going, and then after halftime, my chair just got the best of me, and
that game dragged on so long. Let's get to Jamie's question of the day.
I woke up, and I think it was over. I tried, man.
Okay. For those of you on your bingo card that needed to know what Chuck had for dinner Friday, now you now know.
Well,
you can check that one off.
It was more about just falling asleep, and it was disappointing.
I didn't know about him eating the nachos and laying it down until I heard it on this morning driving.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The nachos don't bother me near as much as the nap.
The nap bothers me a lot.
I'm not in this fray. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'll just back away. All right, here's my question for you gentlemen today. Okay. Very simple question. No wrong answers here. We have two new coordinators for the Red Raiders, one on defense, one on offense. You would assume there will be change in the way the defense or the offense runs and looks and all that good stuff. I just want to know, heading into Heading into game 1 of the season, which one are you more intrigued to see on the field, to see how they're different, or if they're the same, to see how it looks?
It's funny that you bring that up, because something I was going to ask you at 8 was which one's harder to implement. That's a little bit different question than the one that you're asking, but I think that the offense and the defensive coordinators and the newness and new players and how all that works. To me, I'm more intrigued, I think, with the defense. I think that there's probably going to be more continuity with the offense because of the quarterback and a lot of the receivers that are coming back, and your 2 running backs that are coming back. So, but I'm really intrigued with, okay, is this defensive line going to really put pressure on the quarterback? Are the corners really going to be able to be better because you're putting pressure on the quarterback and the quarterback's having less time? Can Jacob Rodriguez continue to do what he does? Can he be better, or can he just be as good as he's been? So I'm really intrigued with the defense. As I was going through the autograph line with the boys, and the boys were getting the autographs of the defensive guys, and I was telling the defensive guys, man, I want to see that quarterback flat on his back. I want to see him flat on his back. And they said, you're going to see him flat on his back. I said, well, I sit on the east side. I sit on about the 45-yard line. I said, if you see a guy standing up with his hands in the air going, what are we doing? That's going to be me. But I want to see that quarterback flat on his back. And they said, you're going to see that. Okay.
All right. How did you word the question again?
What are you the most intrigued to see?
Most intrigued. Okay.
Yeah. Which side of the ball?
Did I answer the question?
I think so.
You did?
Okay.
6 or 7 different times.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a new defensive scheme for us, again, and we're good at this. We've done this a lot. But it's also a little bit different offense that I think we're going to be seeing and how it's going to roll out. I think I'm more intrigued with the new offensive coordinator than the defensive coordinator, but it's close.
Okay. I think I'm with Chuck. I think I'm on the defensive side of the ball. At times last year we tried to pressure the quarterback with blitzing, and that left our DBs on an island, and it didn't look good. I thought for the most part we were decent against the run last year, but just could never put pressure on the quarterback. And so I think it's partly about the stars that you have on the defensive side of the ball that should be able to do that, but it's partly about I want to see how aggressive this coaching staff is with you would like to think you're not going to have to blitz that much, that you're just going to have these 2 stud rush ends and your awesome depth in the middle there to get after guys and make plays in the backfield without having to send extra guys. So you'd really like to see that, but I think I'm with Chuck. I'm on the defensive side of the ball, intrigued to see what that looks like. I think offensively, it's always fun. You're going to see new plays, new wrinkles, all that. I think that's cool. I think we've seen a lot of that over the years. It's just we've never really seen a really good defense, and so I think I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It's been a while since we've seen that. Washed Up Guy says this: a shutdown defense would make the difference for a successful year. They can't beat you if they can't score on you. Yeah, that's true.
I hope we're leaky on defense all season long. Give up 7 points a game.
Viva 73 says, I'm just excited that we have a new offensive coordinator this year. The defense will be the easiest to implement and always is. Remember, last year you had a banged-up quarterback that couldn't throw the ball down the field.
And remember, last year you led the conference in scoring.
Yeah. So that new offensive coordinator does have
just so funny
some shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Did we leave some points on the board?
Sure.
Absolutely we did.
Sure. Could we have been better at times? Yeah, sure. Was the play calling at the end of the TCU game head-scratching? Sure, it was, but you still had a pretty good offensive coordinator who led you to really good offense.
Mm-hmm.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning. With Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. We get this with regard to the conversation I had with the couple that had 5 children in tow, and they said that I turned out okay as the oldest of 5. Somebody says if they were to listen to Chuck in the morning, they would be worried. Probably so. There's probably some truth to that. Probably some truth to that.
Only about the Kent State game, though.
I could start every morning with those clips of Zach Thomas and Wes Welker, guns up. Yeah.
Those are two good ones.
Those are two really, really good ones. There's others as well.
Throw a Crabtree in there.
Yeah, right. The 63-yard field goal.
Conyers high five.
60, 63, 62. All right, Jamie, if Micah Parsons were on your team and he behaved like that, what do you think would happen? Do you think it would ever even get to that point first?
It seems like for some reason the tide is with the fan favor is with Micah Parsons. I will admit to you, I'm normally on the side of the management and these kind of things. Mm-hmm. Especially when the situation, and I think this is a big part of it, he is under contract already for another year. I mean, he signed a deal that said, I will play for you for 3 years for this much money.
Right.
Okay?
And you have control of him over the next 2 years.
Right.
2 more years after this year.
Yeah. So the thought would be, okay, we'll try to put together a new deal somewhere along the way, but you're under contract. To act like Jerry Jones partway decided, you know what, I'm not going to pay you that much anymore. I'm going to cut your salary. He's not doing that. Mm-hmm. That is huge with me. If this was a free agency deal, I would maybe listen to both sides a little bit more. Okay? Do I think Jerry's been terrible the way he's handled contract situations? Absolutely. But what do we know is that he usually gets, quote unquote, beat.
Yeah, right.
Right? He usually loses. Yeah. And you know what? And no, I do wonder in this situation, and Jeff, you can agree with me or disagree as a diehard Cowboys guy. I wonder if Jerry taking a beating from the media and the fans about him always losing has him saying, I'm not going to give in on this one. You could see where that would affect Jerry, right? Like his ego will say, well, I'm not going to let them say that about me on this one. I'm going to stand my ground on this one. I don't know why suddenly we all think Jerry's a moron. I mean, I don't think there's any disagreement there. Mm-mm. But what have we seen from Micah Parsons to say that he's not a moron also? Because he's run his mouth way too much and said way too many negative things about the leadership of the Cowboys and his teammates to make me have any respect for him, except for the fact that he is a terrific football player.
I mean, his teammates haven't exactly rallied his cause.
You know, there's a few of them that, have backed him a little bit. But, I mean, whatever. I don't know. I heard some on driving home on Friday from listening to two guys on ESPN radio talk about how this is a racism thing and that Jerry can't talk to Micah and demand things from Micah like this because he's a white man and Micah's a black man. I'm like, this has nothing to do with race. Good God, what a reach, Oh my goodness! So this has to do with this guy signed a contract. He's supposed to be playing. I mean, Jerry wants to negotiate, supposedly. Okay, I don't want to act like Jerry's not in the wrong here too, because Jerry's a moron as well. But I don't get it. I don't get it. What would I do? At this point, I don't want the dude as part of my franchise. If I'm Jerry Jones, I am trying to find a way to get rid of him. The hard part is you're probably not going to get enough for him.
I mean, supposedly they turned down even having a conversation with the Packers about, a couple of first-round draft choices.
That may have been a few weeks ago. After this Friday night, I would think that mood would change a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want this guy back. How are you putting the toothpaste back in the tube now.
It'd be difficult. There's no question. I mean, and Micah doesn't help his cause at all by doing things like laying on a training table and basically either taking a nap or pretending to take a nap.
Chuck, I would love for that to be true. I would love for that to be true. You think the Green Bay Packers care?
Nope.
Nope.
You
the
know
Green
why?
Bay Packers, if they're willing to trade for him, they know what money he's demanding. They'll say, it doesn't matter. That's the Cowboys. He was angry. He was frustrated. He'll be different with us. I would love for your statement to be true. But the Packers and 25 other teams will be like, we'll fix him. Yeah, I don't care that he acted like an idiot with the Cowboys. He won't do that at us.
Can he sack the quarterback?
Yeah.
Well,
He respects our owner. He respects our GM. He'll respect the head coach here. He won't act like that.
I don't even think it goes that far. I wish it did. I wish that mattered. The question is, and this is one thing that has been true about the NFL for 15, 20 years. Can you play ball?
I think that's been true about the NFL for 50 years.
If you can play ball, we don't care if you beat your wife, take steroids, have killed somebody, have been in the room when somebody got killed, badmouth everybody in the league. If you can play ball, you're going to be on a roster.
You know, it's interesting going back to the Cowboys Netflix series, and then I think it was episode 2 where they have the Charles Haley discussion when he gets traded from the 49ers to the Cowboys. Jerry Rice said at the end of that, after they went through the 92 NFC Championship game, that the biggest mistake that the 49ers did was trading Charles Haley. But Charles Haley wanted out of San Francisco. He did, disgusting things to get out of the Cowboys, or get out of the 49ers camp. He didn't want to play for him anymore. He didn't want to play for that coach. Didn't want to play for that GM.
So you can try to punish him all you want and just do nothing, or you can get at least something for him.
Yeah, which is what the 49ers did.
Yeah, at least get something for him.
Yeah.
And that's what the Cowboys are left with here. This is not the ideal situation. The ideal situation would have been for Jerry and him
last year
take care of this. Well, you're going to give him a new deal before his second year's even done?
You can't do that.
You could have had the conversation last year. So
it sounds like they had a conversation that Micah Parsons now says didn't happen.
At the end of the season, you could have signed the new contract.
Okay.
And you go into it before the J.J. Watt deal. You go into it before everything gets crazy. Mm-hmm. It gets locked in. It takes effect next year. He's happy. You don't have this off season, and you work ahead of something for the first time in Jerry Jones's career.
Yeah, that's fair. As far as getting it done before J.J. Watt, but most ownership, they're going to wait till the last minute to do these things. They're going to wait till camp time, till they have to do it. That's the way it's almost always done. Okay, because they have gotten in front of Watt. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what Micah Parsons. Maybe Micah Parsons and his people said they don't want to be in front of Watt. We don't know the answer to that because they wanted to see what JJ was getting, and then TJ, so they could. Yeah, sorry, thank you. So they could jack it up a little bit higher, right? Which is don't we think that's what's happened here?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, that they had agreed on one deal, and then they saw what Watt's getting, and now Micah's people are like, we want a little bit more than that.
And we want to be the highest paid. Yeah.
Just like Dak did, we want the most. We don't care about winning. We want the most. We just want to win that game. And then talk about security. Oh, he needs security. Oh goodness, because $37 million wouldn't give you security. Cry me a freaking river, man.
But his behavior Friday night just talk about public disrespect. Man. How do you come back from that?
He's a major distraction. It's not the ideal situation, but the Cowboys have to move on from him.
And if Green Bay's still offering 2 first-round picks, buy Micah right now. I wouldn't have turned down the deal.
Or even turned down the discussion.
Yeah, no, we'll give you 2 first-round picks. He's on the way.
What time do you need him there?
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.